Hi everyone, Michael Goff here. Welcome to Chronicles of Clarity. Today we're going to clarify comments made by the mayor of Chicago, Brandon Johnson.
That's not appropriate. We're not talking about mob actions. I didn't say that.
What happened Sunday?
Hold on a second, okay? Respectfully, these large gatherings, just hold on a second, y'all. I promise you, we have time to talk. It's important that we speak of these dynamics in an appropriate way. This is not to obfuscate what is actually taking place.
This was the scene near Roosevelt and Canal Sunday night. Groups looted a convenience store. More than 36 teenagers were arrested, along with a 12-year-old and at least one 20-year-old. Store owners say it was the second such incident in that area in just the past few weeks. And today, Mayor Johnson commended Chicago police for the way they handled it.
To the best of their ability, I believe that they attempted to engage with our young people, with community partners, giving as much warning as they possibly could. And, unfortunately, arrests, were made.
I'm going to take these headphones off. This kind of stuff drives me insane. So I'm going to start all the way back at the beginning. First, he says that calling this group of vigilantes a mob was inappropriate. See, if you can control language, you can control people, you can control the narrative. Let me read you the definition of what a mob is. Mob, as a noun, a large crowd of people, especially one that is disorderly and intent on causing trouble or violence. And he has the audacity to then say, we need to speak of these dynamics in an appropriate way. No, the reporter spoke to these dynamics in an appropriate way. It is indeed a mob. He says that what was it he said? Oh, I'm not trying to obfuscate what has taken place. No, you are doing exactly that. That is exactly what you are doing. And notice that the news person calls this a group of people, a group. So Mr. Johnson doesn't want to call it what it is. And so you got to ask yourself a question. Why would someone want to do that? Well, to me, the obvious reason is because he's in charge. He's the mayor of Chicago. We live close to Chicago. We frequent there maybe once a year on average. And Mr. Johnson wants to paint his city to be in the best light. But see, this is what people get tired of, is when obvious things are obfuscated, to use his vernacular. This is exactly what he's doing. He's trying to couch in language something as though it was something else. He's taking what a mob actually is by the definition and then redefining it. And like I said, the news follows suit with the group's comment. And then the news says there's more than 36 arrested. 36, more than 36. How about we say 36 or more? 36 people. That's a lot of people. It sounds a lot like a mob. But I digress on that point. Store owners say that this was the second incident, which this has occurred in many weeks. And then Mr. Johnson proceeds to commend the police. But a couple things in his statement I wanted to point out is that he said that the police gave them as much warning as they could. Isn't that nice of the police to give people who are part of a mob whose intent is to destroy someone else's hard-earned property? These people are trying to make a wage for themselves, sell things, have a business. And these people come, and the police, bless their heart, they gave them as much warning as they possibly could. And then Mr. Johnson proceeds to say that, unfortunately, there were arrests. No, Mr. Johnson. Fortunately, there were arrests. This is what's wrong with politicians. If Mr. Johnson would have gotten up and he would have said, yes, this was a mob, and the police dealt swiftly with it, and it's sad what they have done to the members of our community who we support, and yeah, there would have been no story. But as soon as he started lying, that's what he's doing, right? We need to use appropriate language. This isn't, I didn't say mob. No, you should have. And if you would have, people would respect you more. And that's all I have today on Chronicles of Clarity. Thank you for joining. I'd like to know your thoughts on this. Do you think that he was lying? Am I making too much of his attempt to try and hide what is really going on? Let me know in the comments below. If you'd like and subscribe, we would appreciate it. As always, we'll see you next time.